Hello guys, this is Justin McGowan and welcome back to JDM Professionals. Now I meant to do this video for a long time ago, but now I finally get to do it. If you recently watched my channel back in March, you may remember that I originally posted a video letting you guys know that I've been fired. I was working a job path, but at March I got fired. Now notice I said it was originally posted. Well, I posted a video, but then I was told to take it down, so I took it down. So if you watched the video of me getting fired, you may already know what happened. But for those who didn't, here's a brief summary about what happened. One of the things I did with one of the people I supported was attend classes with him, and to observe and to make sure things are going well and all that. Well, I apparently made contact with one of the students there. It's not sexual, and it's not sexual at all. It's just a regular conversation, a normal conversation. I only connected her just to be friends and nothing else. But apparently this was something I should have never done, because it apparently violated the company's policy. Like, I'm not supposed to make contact or be friends with people through my work. So I did. So even my intentions were not that bad. The action I did was not good. I mean, like, she and I, we got along so well, like, and she knew I only wanted to be friends with her and all that, and she told me she was in a relationship, and I respected it, and it was just a normal conversation, nothing went wrong, and we only talked once, and that was it. So I talked to her the same way I talked with everybody else, but my actions were foolish and horrible, and that's why I've been terminated, which is really upset. I never thought I'd ever say those words, but that's the reality. It sucks that things have to end this way, but the fault is completely my own. What I did was wrong, what I did was unprofessional, and I should have never done that in the first place. This is one of the many things I regret, and I'm paying dearly for this. I am so sorry for what I did. I seriously did not mean to do this, and I should have known better there. I mean, I only cared for her as a friend and nothing more than that. But still, I shouldn't have done this in the first place. To all my fans watching this video, and to all the patients of JobPath, if you're watching this video, I ask you to do one thing, and please do not send hate to JobPath. Do not be rude or do not be disrespectful to JobPath. None of this is their fault. It's mine and my fault alone. No one else. This has happened because of me and only me. And so please do not go after JobPath. And also, please don't go after, especially do not go after the person that I talked to. The only person to blame is myself, and only myself. So please continue to support JobPath. There's a great organization with many great people, and do many great things and all that. Do not let the decision of hiring me change your views. It's my fault alone and no one else. So I will say it again. Please do not send hate to JobPath, and do not send hate to the person I was talking to. They didn't have bad intentions, and neither did I. It's just the rules, and I apparently didn't follow those, and this is what happens. So yeah, that is definitely what happened. I still sad that this happened, but the fault is entirely my own. I've said it in the video when I made the video, and I will say it again. Do not send hate to JobHav, and do not send hate to the person that got me fired. It's like, it's none of their faults. It's mine. Like, I did something that I did the wrong thing, and I should never done it to begin with. But there's good news though. There's good news though. Like, after I got fired, I went back to looking for more jobs and all that. And a month after I got fired, I managed to get back on my feet and all that. As of April 22nd, I'm officially working as a community canvasser for AM Trace. What is AM Trace? Well, let me tell you. As you all know, COVID-19 has disproportionately impacted neighborhoods in the greater New York City region. Those most negatively impacted to continue to have high case rates and continue to need additional community support to improve health equity and health literacy. AM Trace supports a community-focused project aimed to engage with the community on an individual level through door-to-door, public-facing event interventions, and disseminating information to the public. So yeah, that's what AM Trace does. They help people during the pandemic and all that. So you may be asking, what does a community canvasser do? Well, the community canvasser will be responsible for targeted community outreach to residents of Brooklyn and the surrounding areas. So it's all around the borough. Responsibilities are to complete program training and provide accurate information to community members, conduct outreach into targeted communities, effectively engage residents, and provide accurate information on COVID-19, including prevention and testing vaccine access, direct members of targeted communities to testing and/or other services, protect and maintain privacy and confidentiality, collect appropriate information from community members and report on findings as appropriate, and educate others on the use of personal protective equipment like face coverings, also known as masks, to prevent possible COVID-19 transmission. So yeah, I've basically given people free masks, free hand sanitizers, and COVID vaccine appointments. I've stated that I started working there on April 22nd. So you notice now, as I'm posting this video, it's in May. So you may be asking, why am I posting this a month after I got hired and not the moment I got hired and all that? Well, the answer is very simple. It's because I've been super busy with my job and other things. I'm either super busy at my job, or I have a lot of other YouTube videos in my main channel and all that. Or even if I did have the time, I usually get super tired from work that I'm just not in the mood to do it. But now that I'm not busy with anything right now, and I'm in an okay mood to do it, I'm here to address you guys of what happened and all of that. So I'm sorry for making this a month late, but it's better late than never. And since this is pretty much a month into me working at AM Trace, I can definitely talk to you about give you a monthly summary of how everything's going so far. Okay? So everything started on April 22nd, 2021. It was my first day at the job, and I was very excited. So my first location was at Utica Avenue and Eastern Parkway. That is located in Brooklyn. Though actually, that wasn't actually my original spot to begin with. It was at a senior center or something like that. It's like I try to look. It's not only is it too far to go to, but it's hard to find because it's in one of those houses that like those houses that you go into some neighborhoods and there's lots of buildings and all that stuff. It was in there, so I had to look for it and all that. But when I got there, no one was there until one of my supervisors showed up and said we were at a different location. It didn't look like a good start, but it got better once we get back to the area. So once I got to my location, I was taught about my responsibilities and what I should be doing and all that. And I was taught to use the iPad and how to give people vaccine appointments, how to clock in, clock out, and doing things like doing the mask adherence form, which in my case it's a waste. I mean, it's for good purposes, but it's very difficult to do and all that. And also filling out the equipment tracker and the campus activity tracker and a lot of those stuff. Keep in mind, I was trained there, and then shortly after I did my training, I've been doing a lot of work right away, giving people masks, giving people hand sanitizers, and giving people COVID vaccine appointments. Like seconds after I did the training and started doing my work, my supervisors were impressed like immediately. It's like according to them, I was learning very fast and all that. I mean, it's a really good first impression. So I've been going about and doing stuff, and on my first day, I got like 2 vaccine appointments for people. I was really everyone was really impressed with my debut. It's seriously this debut of mine was legendary and one to remember and all that. It's like how the supervisors and my coworkers reacted to my debut. It's like the company just won the draft lottery and I was the one that they picked, and it was only the first day, which is just insane. So of course I went home that day and then telling people how my first day experience, and then I did the sexual harassment training, and I got that done. So my first day was really good, and I was super impressed, and they were impressed. All of that, I was like, if that was my first day at the job, I'm excited to see what the rest of my time is gonna be like. So the next day, my second day at the job, which was April 23rd, I was at 169 Wharf Street in Manhattan. So there was a vaccine bus right there. So the thing about vaccine bus is that we can take people there because they're doing walk-ins and all that. So I of course I did go there and all that, and I was of course walking around giving people masks, giving people hand sanitizers, giving people COVID vaccine appointments. I believe I got like 10 in my group. I'm not 100% remember. I don't 100% remember, but I was doing a lot and all that. Actually, I did so much that my feet was getting super sore. Not the sore about getting super tired and out of breath and all that. It's just one of my foot got severely injured with all that walking and all that. It was like on my left foot. I mean, it's like my right feet, it's fine. But with my left foot, it seems that every time I take a step with my left foot, it stings. It hurts hard. It's like it hurts up to the point that I was limping and I was walking slower than I should be and all that. But besides the pain, the second day was good and all that, and I actually went back to that same site the next day. As I said, I had a foot injury, so the next day I was hoping that it was fully healed. It wasn't. My foot was still sore. It was hurting. I was walking, and at that moment I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go to work anyways. So yeah, instead of staying home, making sure my foot got fully recovered, I decided to go to work anyways. What a mistake that was. Because as I was doing the masks and hand sanitizers and all that stuff, while I was doing work, my feet was super sore again. And as I said, it's my left foot stains every time I take a step with the left foot. And I spent the whole time limping, walking slow. The pain was unbearable, and it just made my job difficult. Heck, it was so bad that even my supervisors and my coworkers knew what I was going through, and they were constantly checking up on me and making sure that I was okay and all that. The thing that not many people know about me is that I'm a warrior type of person. It's like I can get injured, I can get super sick, I get run over by a bus, or I can get decapitated, or I get shot or stabbed, and despite the pain of it all, it's still not gonna stop me from doing what I need to do. So that's what I was in the third is like I don't care how much pain I have to suffer through this entire day. You will not defeat me. It was still a big mistake, but at least we got a lot of work done. So once I got home, I was super sore, and and knowing that I wasn't healed a day later, I was hoping that Sunday would get better. It didn't get better, so then I decided to take a day off. I didn't want to take the day off. I'm not the type of person that would take days off and all that, but that's what happens. Like, I told my supervisor on Sunday, which was supposed to be my fourth day, that I wasn't able to come because I had a foot injury and all that. She understood, and she hoped I got better and all that. And speaking of supervisors, on Sunday, the supervisor that I had on Friday and Saturday on Warp Street actually messaged me in the Google chat. And she was checking up on me to make sure that I was okay and all that. And that is just really good. Like that's got to be one of the nicest things that people I work with has ever done. People were treating me like I was the face of the franchise and face of the company and all that, as I was their secret treasure and prized possession and all that, and they wanted to make sure that I'm well to the best of my ability and make sure I remain in my prime in my company. It was really nice, and I felt glad that I get to be around great people that actually care about my health and the things that I do and all that. So for my fourth day, which was actually supposed to be the fifth day, was on April 26th, and it was at Corona Plaza. It's like right at the station. So as I said, I was giving away masks, hand sanitizers, COVID vaccine appointments. And that day, my team made like 6 COVID vaccine appointments, I believe. It was really, really good and all that, and I was very impressed for the things that we did and all that. I would have said that Tuesday would be the next day, but but for my work schedule, I work every day except for Tuesdays and Fridays. Today, as I'm doing this recording, I have a day off. So Tuesdays and Fridays are days that I always have off. So I'm working Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So basically the first time I'm working on the weekend, which is strange, but as long as the job is going well and you enjoy it, you'll get used to it very quickly. So for my fifth day, which was on April 28th, I was working in Flushing. There was also a vaccine bus there. So of course we're going around giving away free masks, free hand sanitizers, and COVID vaccine appointments. And while I was working there, now I gotta tell you that if you've been following me on my second channel, you may remember that I'm currently volunteering and helping John Cho win city council. Well, and District 20 is in Flushing. While I was walking around, doing my job, I've seen so many posters of John Cho. And as soon as I saw them, I instantly took pictures of them. And when I got home, I sent those pictures in the campaign chat and all that. So of course, they were super impressed that we can see a lot of posters and all that. And while we're talking about John Cho and all that, I saw one of his opponents, Anthony Miranda, which you saw in in the uncomfortable conversation with the sentences. I saw Anthony Miranda and also his van. I would have talked to him, but I was busy with work, and he was getting inside the van and going. It would have been an awkward situation if I talked to him, because although I was partnering with John Cho before Anthony Miranda decided to go into the race, I felt like a traitor. Because to go from including him in uncomfortable conversations to working with one of his opponents, it would have been awkward. But I'm pretty sure Anthony would understand where I'm going and all that. So for the sixth day, which was on Thursday, April 29th, I was working at Diversity Plaza, which was in my neighborhood. Yes, I live in Jackson Heights, and I got to work in Jackson Heights, which was impressive and all that. So of course we're going around giving masks, free hand sanitizers, and all that. I think for that day, my team got like 3 or 4 or 5 COVID vaccine appointments. Of course, there was also a vaccine bus there that we did walk-ins and all of that. So, and this was at the point when I started making friends with some of my coworkers. Like the person I was in a group with, she was super cool. She was very nice. Like she actually lives in my neighborhood and all that. And get this, she actually lives in the house by herself. Yes, I mean, like, do you know how hard it is to live by yourself in New York? In New York City? So it's like, she's super young and all that. A bit older than me, but it's like in her 20s and all that. And now she's living the life that a lot of New Yorkers wish they could have. And she's a law student and doing all that stuff. So, like, she and I had talked a lot. We had lunch together and all that. She is super cool and all that. Like only that person knows who I'm talking about. But shout outs to her and all that. So now we finished everything in April. So now let's get to May. I worked at Diversity Plaza again on May the 1st on Saturday. So, interesting fact about my partner back in April. She was there again in May, but she was at a different group. And I noticed there was a different group because there was another group further away that started like 30 minutes after my group and all that. So I definitely got to stop by the other tent and say hi and all that. And it's like, if only I would have wanted to work overtime to work with them after I finished my group. It's a shame, but it is what it is. But again, we got a lot of work done. I was very impressed. Now there's a couple of times where I forget about the amount of appointments I did because it's been so long ago. So I'm sorry that I'm not getting the accurate ones. Good. So my second week of work was actually good. The majority was involved in Queens, which is what I prefer, because I filled out the borough preference form, and my 3 options were Queens, Lower Manhattan, and Brooklyn. So then, on Sunday, May 2nd, I was working in Kingsborough, which is at 708 Kingsborough 7th Walk. Again, I was supposed to go over there, but again, they put us back at Eastern Parkway and Utica Avenue again. But then we got back to it again. So it was similar to my first day and all that. So while we're working and giving people free masks and hand sanitizer and the COVID vaccine appointments, we walked past by like a house where they have garden and all that. We were super impressed, especially one of my teammates. She's a garden type of person and all that. And then there was a place, and not only that, but there was a sign where we can volunteer to work at that place, which was really impressive and all that. So, I forgot the name, but it's a couple blocks away from Eastern Parkway and Utica Avenue. I had an interesting team there. It's like one guy, he's very young, but he's actually a parent, which is really interesting. And he's the type of guy that keeps things real and all that. And he's a history type of guy, just like myself and all that. And then my other teammate there, she was super nice and all that. Like, she was nice up to the point where she literally offered the team food. Like, she was eating McDonald's and all that, and she offered to give us the fries, like some of her fries, some of her chicken nuggets, and all that. It's like that is super nice and all that. Of course, I had some of the fries and possibly the chicken nuggets, but that was super nice. It's like one of the nicest things that I've ever seen anyone done, and it was impressive. So as I said, we were walking around giving free masks and hand sanitizers and all that. Now normally the days go well with no problems and all that. But then we witnessed that first incident there. It's like we were walking around, and then there was this woman that came by us. Like we were like, would you like free masks, hand sanitizers, and all that? And she talked to us, and she was like, and she was in fear and all that. So she's saying something about that she's been raped, and somebody was following her and stalking her and all that. They're ripping her clothes and all that. And she was asking us for money and all that. I think $20 or something. It's like, well, I know one of my coworkers there was like, we wish we could help, but we have work and we won't be able to do what you want us to do. If you want, I can send you to the ATM, and get the money and all that, and protect you and all that. But that person denied it, and it's telling us about being raped and all the fear and all that. And then she said, one of my coworkers was like, "You're a woman, so I know you understand," and all that. It's like that and all that. And then we offered to give it to the police, the cops, because there were cops like a couple blocks away from us that could help us in the situation and to get rid of the guy that's stalking her, all that. And she's like, no. It's like we only had one way to offer, and she didn't want it and all that. It's like, and she kept begging us and begging us and begging us and all that, making us feel bad and guilty and all that. It was very bad and all that. Thankfully, nobody got hurt, but I, like my coworkers there, are very guilty and all that. But according to them, it was she didn't, that she was manipulating us and all that, doing everything to purposely make us feel bad. It's like we did what we wanted it, we needed to do, but she didn't took it and all that. But and that she was crazy and all that. Whether or not she was actually crazy and manipulation was her intentions to us and all that, I still felt guilty and all that. It's like, I wish we would have helped, but we unfortunately weren't able to because we had work to do and all that, and we couldn't help her the way she wanted us to. It was really bad, especially when she's talking about being raped and all that. It's like, rape is no joke and all that. So I'm seriously hoping that to that woman, that nothing worse happens to her and all that, and she's able to get the help and support that she needs and all that. So it was rough, and it felt bad that we went through this, but it is what it is. So thankfully, nothing worse happened later that day. We were still able to get appointments and all that stuff. So all in all, it was a good day, but that one situation just prevented it from being a perfect day and all of that. Even to this day, even when I knew, and even when we all knew what her intentions were, it was still we felt guilty and all that. It's like we felt that that we were like we wanted to help her, but we couldn't. That. So then the next day, on Monday, May 3rd, I was back at the Flushing vaccine bus, and of course I was doing more stuff, and one of the teammates that I had back at Kingsborough, the day before, that was offering to give us food and all of that. She was there. She was actually there at the Flushing vaccine bus. Look, I was paired up with one team, and we're giving out free masks, hand sanitizers, and all of that. I think we got like 3 or 4. I think it was 4 vaccine appointments with that group and all that. So then after when my team was on a lunch break, when I wasn't, because I had my lunch break before my whole team did and all that. So while I was having my lunch break, my team did the work, and when they were on break, I was supposed to do work. So while they were doing that, I was put in another team, and that coworker that I had before the day before was there too. So that's cool and all that. So of course we're walking around more and all that, and then we were sitting at the park and all of that. Like we were chilling and we were having a nice conversation about stuff. So, and then after that, that team had lunch break. So I pretty much got myself 3 lunch breaks, 2 that I did not plan on doing and all that. So we went into the pizza place, and that was good. And remember back when I told you that one of my coworkers there was nice enough to offer the team some of her food and all that? Well, she did it again while she and the team was having lunch. Like, she had like mozzarella sticks and fries. She offered the team the fries, and I was the only one I can do that. So she was full and all that. So then I offered to finish the rest of the fries. So I did. I mean, I had more lunch than I did, but I was able to help out and all that. So we had a good time and all that. And I think with that team, they had like 4 or 5, I don't remember. So, but from knowing that I worked for both teams, it felt like I did more appointments than both of those teams combined. Because I think I alone, counting with both teams, I had like 9 appointments, I think. I don't 100% remember, but it was a lot, and I wish I could say that I did more than the teams, which is really impressive and all that. Oh, and also, while I was working on that day, we actually got free shirts and hoodies and all that. As you see here, this was one of the this was our work shirts there. So there's a test and trace score, and in the back, it's talking about getting a free COVID test, and they have the number, or the number is 855-48 for nearby sites. So if you guys need a COVID test but don't know where to go, text this number right here. If this was our work hoodie, so of course this with test and trace, and then back there. And then if you go to the back, there's test and trace score, and also the NYC Health and Hospitals. because we're partnered with NYC Health and Hospitals, so that's really cool. So then Tuesday, which is Star Wars Day, I had off, and then on Wednesday, May the 5th, I was working at the NYP Community Center, which was in Brooklyn. So of course I was helping out and all that, giving free masks, free hand sanitizers, and masks. I believe on that day, my team made like 2 or 3, no 3. They made 3 COVID vaccine appointments, but we got a lot done and all that. So that's good news. So everything was good and all that. But then Thursday, May 6th, it was one of the first times where I was put in a site that I didn't want to go. It's like, on Thursday I was working at Highbridge Park. That is located in Harlem, which is too far away from me and all that. About the scheduling, we use Makeshift for our scheduling. And there is this thing where you can, it's called exchange and drops, where if you put them in exchange, you can exchange shifts with someone. So say that you live in, so that you supposedly work on the Bronx and don't want to work there, someone can offer you, either someone can offer you their shift, and if one of you agrees, you would have to get approval of whether or not you get it. So like, for example, like if I'm working in the Bronx and don't want to work there, someone comes up for like Queens or Lower Manhattan location, they're like, I'm offering to exchange with you. If I agree, it's like, it gets approved. So now I'm working in Queens or Lower Manhattan, and that person gets to work in the Bronx and all that. So I posted an exchange for that location, but unfortunately I didn't get the exchange, so unfortunately I was working at Highbridge Park, which was not actually bad. I mean, like, the park looks nice and all of that, and we got a lot of work done, and I think we got like 2 vaccine appointments, I think, which is not a lot, but it was good and all that. So of course I had off on Friday the 7th. Then on May the 8th, I went back to the NYPD Community Center again. But this time we got a lot more done there. It's like for my team, we had like 5 appointments, 5 COVID vaccine appointments. One of them made 2, the other made 2, and I made 1. Which is really, really, really good and all that, and I was super impressed, and of course I made more friends and all that. It's like of course, again, we had times where my coworkers treated me like I was the face of the company and all that. It's like everywhere I go and everything I do, they get super impressed and all that, and that is really amazing. All that. I respect. I respect what they do and all that, but how they're seeing me, it's like that they're looking at me as if I was God, which is of course not true. I'm not God, and I will never be a God, and I don't want to be a God and all that. But that's how they were looking at me. And all that. It's like they were looking to be like, oh my God, this guy is the best worker we ever had. Can't wait to build shrines on his name. I know that's a very egotistical thing to say, and that was an over exaggeration of how people felt about me when I was working. But you get my point. I mean, like, just to have that feeling and all that, it makes me feel good about myself and all that. Feel good about myself and make me feel good about my coworkers and supervisors. Like, I feel glad to be working in a company with great people and all that. Great people that are super nice and dedicated to this community and all that. Now last week, it was an interesting week because on Sunday and Monday, May 9th and May 10th, I was originally supposed to work at the Bronx, and once I saw that, I was like, nope, I don't want that. I'm posting an exchange. Okay, so then I posted my exchange, and this time around, someone did offer to make an exchange with me. And I seen the locations, they look good, and all that. And I was like, yes, I want to go there. And they both got approved. And I felt super happy, especially on Sunday the 9th. Because I was working in Diversity Plaza again. It's like getting a location that's convenient with you is one thing, but to be in your neighborhood again is so good and all that. So of course we were going around doing free masks, free hand sanitizers, COVID vaccine appointments, and now that we're getting closer to today, now I have a better memory of how many appointments we did. So on that Sunday at Diversity Plaza, my teammate and I made 2 vaccine appointments. Again, not a lot, but it was really good and all that. So on Monday, May the 10th, instead of working on the Bronx, I was working at Carnegie, which is the last stop of the L train. It's like I was going through the L train, and when I was going out, I noticed there was an opening where the buses get out and all of that, and there was an opening. When I first saw that, I was like, that does not look normal. You know, people can sneak in for free. You can't do that. But of course, when I got closer, there was the MTA tolls on the right of the security officer right by it. It was like, oh, now that makes sense. That's good. So of course, I was at work there. At the beginning of work, we were going down behind our location, and there was a wire at that street, so we couldn't cross because there were firefighters and all that. So of course we were getting free mats and free hand sanitizer. It was good, but unfortunately, this is by far, and hopefully it stays that way, the only day where we didn't get a vaccine appointment. I mean, we got like walk-ins, but in terms of making the appointments and all that, there was none of that, which was a shame. That literally ended my streak of making appointments, but luckily it was only for one day. Hopefully it's the only day where I technically make no progress. So all of that was good, but then again, we got Wednesday, May the 12th. That time around, I was working in the Bronx in 744 Alerton Avenue. Of course, I posted an exchange for that, but I got nothing. So I had to work in the Bronx, and I was so upset. But then eventually, I got less and less upset because that day was so far the most productive I ever had in work. Like, my team in that day, we made 9 appointments, and 5 of those 9 appointments were done by me. It's like, this is the best performance I've ever seen and ever did, and that made going to the Bronx less sad and annoying. And it was also got less annoying because I was hanging out with a friend after that. No one from work, just a friend and all that. So that was good to know that I had a good. That despite being far, I had a good day and all that. So then the next day, on Thursday, May the 13th, I was working at Stuyvesant Heights in 1700 Fulton Street. And the interesting fact about that is that it was several blocks away from Eastern Parkway and Utica Avenue, which was interesting because I got a little bit familiar. Oh, I forgot to mention. I don't remember it was the NYPD Community Center or when I was working in Diversity Plaza for the 3rd time. But early at work, I got this. I originally got this chain of this work chain which has New York Health and Hospitals. but I didn't get a name tag. So I don't remember exactly what day it was, but I eventually did get a name tag. Right here, New York Health and Hospitals, Test and Trace Corps. There's my name. There's my name right here. Field outreach worker. So that's good to know that I got that and all that. So of course on Thursday we're working at Bedford Stuyvesant. I believe there we made like 2 vaccine appointments, which was okay. And while we were working there, we also got free hats. So as you can see, these were the hats that we got at work. This is the hat that we wore while we're working when we got the hats. And this hat is really cool. And I like wearing this and all that. Like the other hat I had was the New York Rangers hat, which I don't wear all the time besides making thumbnails of Ranger stuff, but this hat was actually good. It actually fits me and it feels great. So after looking at all that, I was thinking, how many more upgrades are we gonna get? Like, are they gonna give us our work pants, AM Trace pants? Are they gonna give us AM Trace shoes? Are they gonna give us AM Trace gloves? Or what I want, an AM Trace armor and all that. I'm pretty sure they won't get an armor, but I wish they did, because I'm into that. So I was off on Friday, May 14th. Then on Saturday, May the 15th, I was working at Myrtle Avenue and Broadway, which was in Brooklyn. It's like I got there very early, that I was the first one there. And that's when I messaged my supervisor for that day, and it was like, I'm here. Where are we setting up the site? And I'm not kidding, it's like I sent the text and then immediately look at the left and my supervisor was there. So she came perfect timing. So of course we were there and we're going around, and what I noticed is that when you, it's like there's this train station, so if you go away from the station up north, I think. So what I've learned was Myrtle Avenue was a Jewish community, because I was walking down with my teammates and we seen a lot of Jewish people around, which was actually pretty cool. It was pretty cool to get to learn more, see more communities and all that. So on that day we made 4 vaccine appointments, plus walk-ins, and we had someone on the waiting list, so we count that as 5. So a lot more work done, and I was very impressed and all of that. So now we're talking about this week. So on this past Sunday, I was working at 3111 Broadway, which was Astoria, and it looked pretty cool and all that. There was, of course, another vaccine bus, so we were walking around giving away free masks and hand sanitizers, and then when we were resting, we were sitting at a place called Athens Square Playground, and oh my God, it's like the Athens Square Playground was like what I believe to be the coolest park ever. It's like nothing could beat that. And if you've been to Athens Square Playground, you would understand what I mean. But for those who haven't been there, this is not just any old playground. They had like statues of Greek philosophers. They had Socrates. They had Athena. They had Aristotle and Greek stuff in that park. Like, what other park does this? Like, name a cooler park than that one. Exactly. You can't, because there isn't a cooler park than that. And I was super happy that I was there. And shortly before that, one of my coworkers got like pizza and all that, and he actually got me a slice of pizza So another person that was nice enough to offer people like me food. Like, they didn't have to do it, but they did anyway. So I mean, I already brought my own lunch, but it all worked out because I get to have that pizza for lunch and have my lunch that I was supposed to have that day, and wait for the next day because I didn't have time to make my lunch as soon as I got home. So it all worked out. And then later he gave me like a free soda and a free water bottle. It's like, dude, it's like you're spending like $40+ on this one day. It's like, I know you're being nice and all that, but save it for yourself. You need it. So on that day, my team made like 7 vaccine appointments. Like, we did 1, we did 2, and then after the lunch break, we were supposed to go back to the table, and I was waiting and waiting and waiting for my teammates to come back, and was like, what is going on? Because they were like almost 30 minutes late to the table. I was like, I was ready to go, but I was still waiting for them. And it turns out that they made like 5 vaccine appointments at a barbershop during the break, which is super impressive and all that. And I was so impressed that we got a lot. So we made 7 vaccine appointments plus walk-ins. And last but not least, my recent work day was yesterday, and I was working at the Bronx yesterday again. This time it was in Mott Haven. Of course I wanted to exchange, but I got nothing. But someone offered another Bronx location. It's like, no, I did not want that. So of course, it wasn't actually that bad getting there. I had to take like 2 trains, and I got there like 30 minutes early. But I went there early enough to have enough time to have breakfast and all that. So, but now let me tell you about Mott Haven. Like, I believe for that day we made like 2 appointments. 2 of them, they were all walk-ins, but that was something. Now let me tell you the story of me in Mott Haven. So like my coworkers and we would stop by City MD because both of them need to use the bathroom. So we're inside and waiting. Like, one of my coworkers finished using the bathroom, so then the other one went in. And while we were waiting, I kid you not, one of my coworkers were outside giving away free masks and hand sanitizers, and she offered to give free masks to an ice cream truck. And I'm not kidding when I say they literally gave one of my coworkers free ice cream. Yes, she was like, "You want free? Would you like free masks?" And he was like, "Would you like free ice cream?" So she got free ice cream. So she told. How did I know this? Because when we were back at the tent, she told us what happened. She was like, I was giving this guy free masks, and he gave me free ice cream, and I was like, he gave you free ice cream? And she was like, yes, and I was like, I wanna cry, and all that. And then, like an hour later, we found another ice cream truck. Since I wanted ice cream, I was like, oh boy, let's offer them free masks and hand sanitizers. Let's see if that gives us free ice cream. So I gave the guy 2 hand sanitizers, but I got no free ice cream. And I was like, I wanna die. So I felt super sad. And all that, so of course we were going back to the tents near the end of the day, and like I told them we did this and all that, and then we were telling them about the ice cream story. So there was another ice cream truck there, so I gave that ice cream truck free hand sanitizers, and I still did not get free ice cream, and I was like, ah! So then we found out that the ice cream truck that gave my coworker free ice cream was still there. So we went there, and she was like, "Can you get one of my coworkers free ice cream?" One of my coworkers who really wanted to get to check for free ice cream. She's like, how are you doing? Can I get another free ice cream? And it turns out the guy only did it like in the morning and afternoon. She was like, one of my coworkers was dying for free ice cream, and we were working so hard and all that. And then I saw her got ice cream, one cone, and she was like, "Justin," and I was like, "What? What's going on? What's going on?" And then she got me the free ice cream, and I was like, "Yes! Finally! I got free ice cream!" So I basically got free ice cream, and I was super happy when I got it. It's like, I don't care if I was eating close to dinner. It's like, I earned that free ice cream. So, I mean, like, seriously, you cannot make this up. You cannot script this. It's like, you couldn't have written a better ending if you found it in the storybook. And moment to remember. It's like, this was literally the best day, the best way to end work, with free ice cream. I felt happy, and everyone felt happy for me to get free ice cream. So that was pretty much my monthly review on how work went for me. So work has been really good, and I've spent time with great people, great coworkers, great supervisors, made some friends along the way. And I feel very happy about the position. The sad thing is that it's only temporary. It's supposed to end like June 20, which means after that I have to look for another job. But we're getting a lot of work done. We're getting a lot of people vaccinated, and we're helping the community. And that was something I wanted to do, and I'm so happy that I get to be part of this community and work in this great company. Like, I know it wasn't easy, but we worked hard and all that, and this company and a lot of the people are the reason why it's getting closer to the end of the pandemic. It's like, without us helping out, without this great company helping people get vaccinated, things wouldn't be as good as they are now. But they are now, and I'm glad to be happy to help out and all that. So of course I gotta start work tomorrow, but but I'm impressed with what we've done and all that, and I'm very thankful and all that. So that is my story of me working with AM Trace, and I'm working with them and all that. So, here's what I want you guys to do. To the people watching this video, so as I said, I'm going to be around the borough, whatever it is, giving people free masks, hand sanitizers, and COVID vaccine appointments. So here's what I want you to do. It's like you're going to walk around. So you'll be able to find me in the borough. It's like, for those who are watching this video, if you ever meet me, or in one of the boroughs doing work, I want you to come up to me and say, I've watched your video on AM Trace. I want to thank you for what you did to the community. Let me repeat that again. If you watch this video and you see me again, say I watched your video on AM Trace. I want to thank you for what you've done to this community. So it's like, if I know that you've watched this video and supporting AM Trace, that's gonna make me very happy, and it's gonna create a happy work. It's gonna create happiness to me and to the work and community and all that. So So that is it about AM Trace. If you like my stories about AM Trace and you want me to continue doing this while I'm working with AM Trace, feel free to comment down below and I'll be happy to continue to talk to you about my days with AM Trace. So, with that said, this has been Justin McGolan, and please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you, and God bless America.